let's get this started. Hell yeah. Welcome to Barrio Boyz TV. It's your boy, Yogi Los. I'm here with my co-host, Chuco, and the homeboy, James the Juggernaut, man.
Yes,
we got the one and only, the legendary Chicano legend, Rich G. How you doing today, homie?
I'm feeling good, big dog. Still swinging them.
Hell yeah, homie, man. You know, I remember growing up, you know, I listened to a lot of Brownside, and I kind of was talking to you earlier, homie. I was like, damn, man, I used to always hear you on those hooks, you know, especially like on Firme Memories, or when it comes to like gangster life in the city. I was like, damn, man, who's that dude with that fucking voice, homie? And you know, and it's dope, homie, to see that you're actually dropping music again, you know, because I know you took a break, so it looks like right now you're coming back swinging, you know. So let's I wanted to see if we could just get a little backstory. Where exactly you come out of?
I was born in East LA, grew up in Norwalk, California. But I was, you know, my parents were like nomads, dog. So we did a lot of moving around East LA area and, you know, Bassett, Norwalk. But Norwalk is where I pretty much, that's where my roots are, you know.
Hell yeah. And like, how was that growing up? I know that, you know, East LA's you know, pretty rough area and stuff. Like, tell us a little bit more about growing up down there. Like, what exactly did you see and what got you into music, you know, originally?
Wow. You know, back in the days when we were living, you know, in City Terrace at the time, my dad bought me my first guitar. My dad, Richard Garcia, bought me my first guitar when I was like 3 years old. And he was learning to play the guitar, so I was watching him, you know. He started having jam sessions with his homies. They'd be partying, rocking some blues, doo-wop, whatever, you know. And they would let me kick back and just listen to the music, you know. And he had an extensive record collection that he let me listen to when I'm 5 years old, dog. And I learned how to play the guitar. They sent me to school when I was a young kid. And I learned the basics, you know. We just didn't have the dough to keep that up, you know. Yeah. And man, I started just singing, man. I started singing. I wanted to sing and play the guitar, but I mostly started singing when my guitar got stolen when I was about 13 years old. I had a badass guitar my dad gave me. And yeah, they only wanted that. They didn't take none of my other gear. They took my guitar, man. So
the most prized possession of them all.
And I was that stairway all the way down, dog. But anyways, after that, I just said, well, fuck it. I didn't have no dough, you know what I mean? So I said, let me start singing. So I liked singing. So I started doo-wopping with the homies on the corner, you know. They're like, dog, you can actually sing, eh? I said, for real? You know, I always felt I could, but you know, when dad said, shut up in there, eh? You know. But I started doing it, man. Started jamming with the homies. We were trying to start a band back in the days, you know, while we were holding down the block, you know, so never happened. But fast forward a few more years, I started, things started getting crazy, started getting really hot where I was at, and homies were dropping like flies. And I know I was next, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, any one of us could have been next, you know? And that's when my Fita came up to me and she's crying and she's like, hey, mijo, she goes, I don't know if you're gonna wind up dead in an alley or what, because you got me stressed out. I can't, you know, she was really stressed out about it. And then so I had to back down, back off. You know, hooked up with my high school sweetheart, chilled out, started singing at church. Because I've always liked gospel music, you know what I mean? So I started getting down because to me, it was like a good way to release that music in me, you know what I'm saying? I started doing that, and that worked out pretty good, man. I ended up singing for like all the churches in California one time, in California, and got a standing ovation. I said, you know, maybe I should be doing this, you know?
Yeah. So was that around the time that you started recording, like, because you said you grew up like on doo-wop and like blues and stuff, like
and funk, old school funk.
Some funk. So is that like the first things you started recording? Was that kind of style of music, or was your first recording?
Yeah, it was more like on the R&B side. You know what I mean? It's more on the R&B side. What I was doing, what I showed Tony G was some some R&B and some like funkish type of demos that I had. And that's when I met him at Spin It Records in around '89. And we got together. He talked to me for about, we talked for about three hours probably. And he saw that that I had something going, and I saw he had something going. I didn't even know who he was till my buddy introduced me to him, some fool named Robert Preciado. And so yeah, we met, man, and him and Julio and those guys, they all tried to give me a deal, man. They all tried to give me a deal, but meanwhile, he started putting me on with his artists, Frost, first with this dude named Cisco, and then Frost, then the Brown Side, Eazy-E, Slow Pain, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Shoot, man, a bunch of other ones, man. Bugsy, the homie Bugsy, ALT. How can I forget my boy ALT, man?
See the same.
To name a few, Lightfoot.
Yeah. So like around that time when Tony G pretty much started getting you on records. When Tony G started getting you on records, was it more like a doo-wop style, or were you already like doing the hooks for like a lot of these rap songs and stuff like that?
When I started with my album, the album that I was working on for Eazy-E, he was working on a deal where I was going to sign with Sony Japan through Eazy-E, and I pretty much he liked my style, man, and he was going to put the money, and he believed in what I was doing, and I did a lot of like love type of shit, you know what I mean? Back then, I did my hood shit too. Don't get me wrong, I'm known for my hooks, but I don't know, man, just with fat beats, man, like you're smoking a fat leña with your lady. Come here, baby. But that stuff never got a chance to be released. So it is what it is.
Damn, so it never got released. Is there any way it will ever get released?
Yeah, what happened to that material?
I think if anybody has it, Tony G would know, but I think a lot of it's probably gone, if not everything gone by now,
Damn.
It is what it is. But I mean, it's always in here,
So like around that time, when you started doing like the hooks and stuff for them, did you get a chance? Because I know you said that Tony G was obviously connected to Eazy-E and stuff like that. Did you get a chance to work with Eazy-E at all?
Yeah, man. While I was working for his artists, when I met Eazy, and it was a surreal moment for me, because, excuse me. Because I knew what it was and what it was all about. I'm there at the G spot. Eazy shows up. Tony G, hey, Rich, come here, man. Let me introduce you to Eazy-E. Bam, there he was. We're eye to eye. I'm like, yeah, oh, shit. It was like, bam. It was like a surreal moment to me. Shook hands. Said, yeah, dog, man, I like your style, you want to do some stuff, man? We got some shit lined up, man, and I want you to be down with the movement. Here we do it. I said, hell yeah, dog, I've been here, boss, and I'm gonna stay, So yeah, he was down. Anytime I did anything, he always broke me off and asked me, hey, you need, mas, if you want more. I said, oh yeah, you know what? Got another bill coming up, dog. But yeah, he had a deal set up with Sony Japan, and I had, but I was featuring ALT on there too, and a few of the other rappers too, But I had like 2 songs to be done on my album. Eazy got sick. Oh, but before we talk about that, one time I showed up at the G spot. Julio G was there and Eazy was there, right? The G spot in El Monte. And I walked in and we had weights in there, man. We all pumped up back then. Back then I was benching like 400 pounds, dog. And and so I walk in and there's this crazy track on, right? And I'm like, oh, and Eazy's behind the board, and he's just like mixing the track, He has his hair all picked out, with the pick in his head.
Yeah.
He's all bobbing his head, and I look at Julio. I said, Julio, what's up, dog? I go, what's going down over there? He goes, oh, that's his new artist. that the homies putting out. They're called Bone Thugs and Harmony. Because we started it up. And he was mixing there. I don't know if he did the final mix there, but I know he was fucking around with it and just in his own world, you know, on a thuggish, ruggish bone. Yeah. So before it had any vocals or anything on it, it was just the track that he was bumping and mixing. It was a trip.
So was he mixing or was he producing the beat?
I think he was producing it. He was mixing it. I think he produced a lot of that shit, right? I mean, I don't really know, but I know he had a big part in those guys taking off. He was able to put them out, and we were going to be next, you know. And he got sick, and he calls from the hospital, and he tells Tony G, "Hey, tell Rich just to, you know, finish the songs. Everything's good. I'm gonna be all right. Spencer, I'll be out of here soon, you know." And about maybe it seems like a week after that. So no, we're back in the studio, we're working, and about a week or so after that, he went into a coma, and then that stopped everything because it was supposed to be just bronchitis, you know, that he had. And I'm still asking questions, and then by like another week or so after that, he was gone, man. You know, and that was the end of that project.
Do you think, honestly, homie, like, you know, rest in peace, and, you know, you think if he would have never passed away, you think like the Chicanos would have been something on a higher level, like especially when it comes to like the mainstream, because, you know, Eazy-E was a mainstream rapper, you know, at that time. You think if he would have been, and a lot of people don't know that he was working with a lot of Chicano artists. Well, you know, some people, the people that mostly know is like Brownside, you know, but he always had love for the Chicano community. Do you think if he would have never passed away, you think Chicanos would have been on a different level right now?
He was definitely believing in what we were doing, and he was definitely going to make sure it happened.
Right.
You know, a lot of that's just, you know, knowing how to put it out there, dog. You know what I mean? And we had a lot of talented fools in our camp. You know, a lot of talented motherfuckers around our camp.
No, for sure.
Some of the first Chicano rappers that really got down. You know what I mean? And put shit out and were successful. And that's all because of Tony G and Julio G.
Yeah, because well, they're legendary for sure. And, you know, like, and that's why, like how you said that, he was gonna put the homies on. And it's like a lot of, he was putting on people that people probably would have never believed in it. Because if you really think about it, there was not really no other artists coming out of Cleveland, Ohio, you know?
He wasn't just putting Chicanos out too, man. He was putting almost every color in the scope. He was trying to take care of a lot. You know, he didn't care if you had talent, man. That was just, it's all about get that business done, you know?
Right. So I got a question. So what was his personality like? Like a typical Eazy-E moment, like, you know, because you hear all these crazy stories from your perspective.
With Eazy, with me and him, he was closer to Tony G and like Toker. They were like black and brown brothers, you know what I mean? With me, we were just like, because I had just met him, so we were like, "Hey, dog," you know. But you know, I always make sure, you know, all right, dog, you know. And he said, "We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that." Mostly business, but you know, we did get a chance to really kick back, you know, like at the studio when we weren't, you know, working and whatever. And he was a funny dude, man. He was a cool dude, man. I mean, he was the kind of cat you wanted to be around, man. You know, he was like, "Hey, this guy, he'll have my back like I have his back." He was real motherfucker, man.
Yeah. So pretty much from what I heard a couple of interviews from different people. Like him and Toker were like really good homies, though, huh? Like they were.
I mean, they were like brothers, bro. I'm telling you right now, they're like brothers. And I'm hoping they'll put Toker's book out pretty soon, because he told me a dream he had, you know, about Eazy. When Eazy came to him, it's a freak thing. It's a crazy story, dog. And I hope he puts it in the book. I'm not going to elaborate on it, but I hope he puts that shit in the book, man, you know?
Yeah, man. So like, so after Eazy-E passed away, like what happened to Rich G? Like what happened to Brownside? Did you guys, what was going
Rich
on
G
in there?
had 2 little G's, you know? G family. And you know, I had to take care of them, man. I had to, you know, I wasn't making any money, and unfortunately, You know, it's all about, don't get me, I love my craft. I love everything I've been through, and I wouldn't change it for the world, you know. I never take it for granted, you know what I mean? But that time it came to money, man. So I had to get me a job, man. I get me a job with MTA, man, and bus company over there, you know, and hey, 23 years later, here we are.
So how long did it take you to actually decide that you wanted to make a comeback? And
Well,
how
you know,
long?
I didn't really want to make a comeback. I started my band, the Midnight Cruisers, in 05.
Uh-huh.
Howard Scott from War, Joe Truck, and DJ Trip from Radio Aslan at Riverside University. And they got together and they're like, Trip was like, man, I need a guy that sings like this. He was showing him some Frost stuff, right? Joe Truck is my homie. And he's the one that hooked me up with Howard Scott and the guys from War, you know? And he was like, that's my homie, man. We can get him. He's not really doing anything in the business. He's taking care of his family. That's about it, you know? So I went to a couple shows. Howard wanted to write a song with me, which is going to be coming out on my next album. And I came back in just to start my band with my brother Pablo.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just going to be a couple of, you know, little bars here, little backyard boogies or whatever. I kind of grew into something because of my connections, you know, kind of grew up into something pretty good, man. You know what I mean? Where we get to jam with all our heroes, you know.
So what kind of music were you guys doing with the Midnight Cruisers?
Oh, we do, you see, because I started the band because I said I want to make music for the homies and homegirls, man, and our Barrio people, man. And I'm not going to go follow every trend, you know. This is what I'm going to do, Chicano soul, you know, and funk and whatever you want to call it, you know. So that's what we did, and I found some good partners in my brother, my homie Rick Ciordia, and my homie Danny Romo, and now the band is morphed into, you know, the type of band. I mean, we get to go to Laughlin and jam out there, man, at the Tropicana Express. They treat us like, you know, like we're somebody, you know. We go to different spots to get to jam with badass mofos, man, and it's just a blessing to me, and I never take it for granted.
Yeah, man, that's cool, man. So right now you're still working with the Midnight Cruisers and still.
Yeah, we're still jamming. I mean, we do have stuff on the calendar coming up, depending on how this pandemic bullshit goes, you know. But you know, we got stuff lined up. We've been doing our thing, man. We've been practicing. Got a big spot. This is one of the spots we could practice at. But we got another big spot we practice at in Pomona.
Okay. Yeah, man. So, man, hopefully we can get you down here to
the scope,
Valley or the 519,
from Mexican to blues to rock and roll, Credence. We do a lot of funk, you know, and cumbias. We do it all, dog. We keep our people dancing, homie.
Yeah, homie. Hey, he said cumbias, man. That's what's up.
My music right there.
Yeah, come over here, homie. I'll be dancing all day, bro.
All right, that's right.
Throwing the tejana and the botas. Yeah, so
that's
far.
right, big dog. So
hell yeah, homie. Now, hey, dog. So do you play the guitar again, or are you just doing the vocals?
Yeah, you know what? I play rhythms. Yeah, I still play rhythms. And I picked my guitar back up when I started the band.
Okay.
Because, we couldn't find a keyboard, a solid keyboard guy, you know. So I said I better pick rhythm, so at least we could do some gigs to keep my guys getting rolling. So I picked the guitar up again when I started in 05. And so I'm doing good with my band, right? Doing good. I'm good with that. I'm proud of what I did in the past.
Yeah.
And not even realizing what the impact that it made. Just working, doing my thing. I'm out in the yard, right? I was a bus mechanic for MTA. I'm out in the yard, sitting back. The rush is over. I'm chilling, drinking my cafecito, and I get a call. Mr. Richard Garcia. I said, yeah, well, who's this? And he goes, oh, this is George, aka Snoopy, and I'm calling in on behalf of Toker from the Brown side. And I said, what? I said, how'd you get a hold of me, fool? And he's like, oh, well, you know, I'm his webmaster, you know, I'm his assistant, right? I said, and the first thing I asked him though was like, how's Toker, man? Because I hadn't seen him since back in the day. You know what I mean? I had to go do my thing, man. I couldn't turn my back around. I couldn't turn back around, man. You know, I had to take care of my family, you know. And so I was so glad to hear he was doing good. He was in Mexico. And this is like 2017, I believe.
Yeah.
I said, oh man, and it actually brought a tear to my eye that I'm glad he was good, because the homie, the real gangsters, they get into perilous times, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. And so he says, hey, yeah, he wants to know if you, he started a record company. He's living out on the coast in Mexico. And, you know, he wants you to come and do his next. He goes, most of their top album, their top songs were with you, and he wants to get back together with you and do Banging Stories. And I said, hell yeah, let's do it. And so ended up, I was gonna take some homies down there too, you know, because you know how Mexico is anyways, on the way up and back, you know. Yeah. But everybody, pew, pew, pew. I had to go solo, dog. It is what it is, right? Yeah. So I went over there. I met, but I always remembered, because I hadn't seen Tokes in probably about 20 years. Yeah. And I remembered, I was like, Tokes was always good to me. He was like Eazy, you know what I mean? You knew, but you knew he was the boss. Tokes was the boss. But he was always good with me, man. Always, you know, respectful. You know, we were always good, especially after we did Rest in Peace for his brother, Vale.
Yeah. Around that time when he contacted you, is that when you guys redid Gangster's Life in the City? Because I know that there's like a different version of it that's like gonna kind of more you singing a little more than the original version, right? Yeah, the original is called Do or Die. And that's one of the biggest get downs, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm singing on, you know, we're all much younger back then. And then we redid it because Toker, his idea for my album, we did Banging Stories, right? We knocked it out. That went great. And Snoopy and him were talking, and Snoopy told him, hey, man, you gotta do Rich G, man. You gotta do Rich G the next album, dog. So he says, all right, let's do it. So that's when we started going into the studio, and like about 2018, and we started going in the studio and working on Rich G Show Audio Chronicles. Oh shit. And so that one right now is out everywhere, right? You can find it on Spotify and everything. Yeah. Do you are you guys distributing it? Like, is it any stores, or fuck, there's not even really any record stores anymore, huh? You know what? That's what I'm working on right now. Yeah. I'm starting my own music company, as we call back-to-back records, back-to-back music. And I want, like I said, I'm trying to do this for, you know, get my own stuff rolling too and everything. But I also want to make sure that that's all taken care of also, you know what I mean? Because Easttown Records it's still there, but it's not really messing with stuff like that right now. They got other priorities, you know, so. Yeah, I've heard they've been dealing with some things over there, so more power to them. They can figure everything out, because it's all love, bro. It's all love, you know what I mean? And anything I could do for any of them, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? If you need me, just give me a call. You got them digits, you know. Yeah, sir. Man, so how was that? Like, I know you said you lost contact with Toker for a while, man. How was going down to Mexico? Like, you know, was it fuck? Were you like mind blown? Like, yeah, it was a little. You know, I had my adrenaline pumped up, and he goes, "Yeah, just meet me across over there by Costco." So I found Costco. I went in there. There he was. There I was. It was like, man, we can't even hug each other. It's like we never. Like no time had passed. You know what I mean? It was all good. And when that took me down to the Brownside Beach House. Oh man, we had it good, bro. We had it good. Damn, man, it's sad, bro. It's sad about, you know, Toker passing away, man. Because from, like, you know, obviously I've never met the guy, you know, rest in peace. But just everything you hear from him is nothing but positivity, you know. Like, he was a good guy. He was a gangster motherfucker, but he, you know, he would take care of you. He always tried to help people, man. He did the best he could to help people, man. That's why, you know, he was trying to sign as many artists as he could. And to me, I myself, I'm going to start with my stuff, you know what I mean? And maybe if that works out pretty good, you know, because you know, Toker, he was on another level when it came to hustle, bro. He was on another level. So
but you know what I mean? He started signing artists, you know what I mean? Getting down.
Yeah, because he was even signing artists down there, huh? I know he signed like a couple, I think Mexica Warriors or something
Yeah,
like that.
those are my homies, man. We went down there, man, to Mexico City. That's when I realized, you know, like just like you're telling me, those young homies over there, they said, man, we were pumping your shit back in the days in our lowriders, homie. I said, what? I said, here in Death, huh? Get on down. I had no idea. I had no idea that the music I knew it was underground, but I didn't know that it had hit like that. You know what I mean? I didn't know.
We're all the way over here in Washington, and I could tell you for sure we were bumping those fucking cuts, homie. Like that's a big part of my childhood, homie. Did you know that there was raza up here bumping you?
I had no idea.
And just to clarify, Washington State, not DC.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah. A lot of people think Washington. They start thinking the fucking White House. Hey, I don't know, Joe.
No. I know when
you got money for me. That's all I know.
Washington State. Yeah. And you guys, I mean, we're not too far away from each other, anyways. Really, I can take a good little ride, and I'll be right up there, homie.
So I got a question, if you would. You know, given your backstory and you kind of seeing the birth of Chicano rap and a lot of things, how do you think it's progressed with artists like Mr. Shadow, Mr. Little One, Little Rob, Criminal, Capone? You know, those guys who have kind of carried it on since then. Do you think it would have manifested the way that it's done on its own, or do you think it would have been different from now?
It might have been a little different. You know what I mean? Because we would have had more say, and we wouldn't have to resort to starting our own companies, because the companies would have been taking care of us. You know, they would have been signing us and putting us out. And I think it could have been a lot better. But the young homies that are coming up right now, got a lot of love for these guys, man. I mean, they got to do it. You know, they got to set up their own platforms, dog. Pretty much the only way to get by sometimes, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm going to be doing it too. You know what I mean? I'm going to put my own shit out. And you know what I mean? I did help a lot of people along the way, and we helped each other, you know what I'm saying? And now I want to do it for myself, you know what I'm saying?
So an artist like SPM being, you know, Mexican, Chicano, you know, just like a Kid Frost and a Brown Side and, you know, things of that nature, given where he's from as far as Texas, and then the things that he's had, you know, against him being, you know, incarcerated and stuff like that, but still carrying that fan base. I just kind of want to get your opinion on that as far as what, you know, his lineage is, and then, you know, the impact that you may or may have not seen with him as an artist.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's got something that people love, man. I mean, and there's a lot of badass people that come out of Texas too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And a lot of people follow him. Like I said, I didn't really know about him till, you know, here a few years back. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that what we did back in the days, we were bashing our heads on them doors. You know what I mean? And guys like him came afterwards. Guys like, you know, Baby Bash, or, you know, even on the East Coast with Fat Joe and those guys, man. But we were bashing our heads on those damn doors, man. And I think we kind of helped a little bit, at least gave him a little ramp to run up. You know what I'm saying? And it is what, you know, I'm not the judge, and I never try to be the judge. You know, whatever went down with his thing. You know, I got no, I can't even say anything about that, man, because I don't know. I
respect that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I respect that.
I just appreciate the fact that a lot of these guys that can do that, you know, and that are Chicanos, hey, I give them all the love in the world, man. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, no, Baby Bash is a good example. From what he's told in other interviews in the past, you know, Kid Frost found him, and then he kind of gave him to SPM, and then SPM kind of did what he could until his situation, and then, you know, Baby Bash has worked with artists like Akon, has worked with artists, you know, it's fucking I'm losing it right now. Sean Kingston, T-Pain, Sean Kingston, you know, a lot of heavy hitters.
Well, you know, well, those and they came out a little smoother than us, you know, because we did a lot of street shit, you know what I mean? But we did smooth shit like that too. And I know that the formula that we came up with, you know, and I know that they used that formula, and you know what? To me, it's an honor because they took it to the next level. People like that, you know. And with Frankie J doing the hooks, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. No, I mean, and Frankie J got his start from Cumbia Kings. Would they be in that?
Yeah. Well, really?
Yeah, so,
Well, he had an awesome voice, and those guys are still doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
yeah. Shout out to the homie DJ Kane. He's showing us a lot of love too with the Cumbia Kings. So, yeah, no, I just want to get your perspective on that, LG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I just honestly like how you said, yeah, the formula you guys started did help out a lot, you know, because I did rap music too, you know, I did a lot of rap and stuff. And, you know, I remember, like I told Mr. Shadow, because I talked to Mr. Shadow, I was like, fuck, I didn't even know there was Chicano rappers out there, you know? I was a kid, I was listening to, you know, the Snoop Dogs, the fucking, you know, Dr. Dre's, all this, everything West Coast, Tupac, pretty much. And then I remember growing up, and then I got into middle school, I started meeting the homies, you know? You start getting the homies, and the homies are like, hey, bump this, homie. And then I started fucking, that's when I first listened to, like, you know, Mr. Shadow and all them from like the 619. And then the shit got deep. I started listening to Brownside. And then I was like, oh, damn, man, these folks been doing it for such a long time, you know? So it's cool to see that you guys been doing this since pretty much the beginning of gangster rap, you know, or West Coast.
Pretty close, man, pretty close. You know, but Mellow Mayonnaise that I know of came out with one of the first like Spanish raps, you know. I don't know if that's, I could be wrong. You know, the first one I ever heard was in La Casa from Mellow Mayonnaise. And that was like a year before I even met him.
And do you think that, like, okay, because see, back then, like those songs, like you said, like Mellow Mayonnaise, and then there was a couple, like, well, you know, Kid Frost, The Raza, and stuff like that. Like, they were being played on the radio.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then later on, that's when it started getting labeled as Chicano rap. Do you feel like the label of Chicano rap kind of ruined the potential of the Chicanos in the rap game?
I wouldn't say it ruined it, but I know that knowing the world the way I know it, it made it put a damper on it. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna, like myself, I'm gonna do what I do, bro. I do Chicano soul, man. Yeah, that's where I'm from, and that's where I'll be. If I'm only gonna sing to 3 people, that's where I'm from, homie. So, do with it what you will. I got people all over the world that hit me up, dog. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I find it to be an honor that they're like, hey, when you gonna come to Croatia? When you gonna come out to Japan? When you gonna come out to Australia? I'm like, you fucking with that shit out there? London.
That's right, mate. Yeah, it's true. I know Japan. They fuck with Chicano rap.
I know there's a potential to even use Chicano, and be, you know, that's just where I'm from, bro. I mean, I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do anything else. You know.
Yeah. So who are you listening to growing up? Like how you said that you were listening to like doo-wop and like blues, some artists that influence your voice, because your voice is that soul. You know, you got that soul.
So. Thank you. Well, I mean, you know what? Like I said, my dad, he could have been a DJ because he had this extensive record collection, right? We lived in El Sereno, and we had like this little nook in the front room and a little record player there, you know, record player. That's how old I am, dog. And my pops would let me listen to his records. He goes, look, mijo, he goes, you listen to all these records and junk, you scratch them, I'm gonna kick your ass. Right? So I listened to, man, he had everything from, you know, foreign music, you know, like, you know, even from Germany. He had stuff from Africa. He had stuff, you know, all the rock and roll. He had Beatles collection. He had the whole Beatles collection. He had all the Chicano bands, you know what I mean? Jazz, all the soul band groups, you know, from the rhythm and blues days, all the way back to the turn of the century. And I got to go through all this and listen to all Doors, you know. I got to go through all this and listen to this shit as much as I wanted, as long as I didn't fuck them up. And
Yeah.
it trained me, man, I think. And especially gravitated towards the soul music and the Mexicano music, of course, you know, but a lot towards soul music, you know.
That's dope, man. Not a lot of people have a voice like you, man.
Well,
Like,
thank you, man. I mean, I know I'm not the greatest, bro, but I put a lot of feeling in what I do, and that's the key, man. You know, people got to remember that when you're doing something, man, you put your love into that shit, man. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you know, music is a form of self-expression, and if you want people to feel what you're saying, you have to be able to express what you're saying.
Yeah. Whether you're playing guitar, whether you're playing the flute, whether you're playing the drums, whether you're just on the turntables, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or what you guys are trying to do over there, it's on a different level too, you know?
Yeah. No, you know, and that was the whole point of us, you know, building this platform is, you know, you do have the OGs like Tony G and a couple other folks, but, you know, we wanted to do something, you know, specifically for the Northwest,
Yeah.
you know, because there's a lot of Chicanos out here. We're broadcasting right now from Pasco, Washington. But we're based out of Yakima, Sunnyside.
Do I hear a show for Rich G out in Yakima? Rich G show out there?
Hey,
Rich G
most
coming to
definitely, the
town?
homie right here is actually a promoter for Rich Lifestyle Promotion.
Yeah, brother. I booked Criminal before. I booked Carolyn Rodriguez. We're working on a Latin Fest. Me, and my business partner. I've done a lot of, you know, I've done a lot of big stuff, and I'm only 26 years old, trying to kill the game while I can. You know what I mean?
All props,
yeah.
man.
Rich G, I think Rich G over here would do good, bro. Honestly, like, just because, like, your songs, you know, like, listening to your songs, like, you know, how we're talking about, you know, like Do or Die, or, you know, Feed My Memories. Those to me, and to like people that grew up like me, you know, because I'm a little bit older, you know, but not too much older. That's like the way the age is right now. But those are like classics, you know. So imagine just a Chicano rap show and Rich G comes out singing "Gangsta Life." I'm not gonna hit them high notes because I can't do it like you, big dog.
Hear that? I'll come out and be like, somebody say yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Hey, hell yeah, homie. Salud.
Listening to your music, I'm from San Antonio, Texas. So my homeboys are Ernie Garibay from Austin, San Antonio there. So I know a lot of.
Did you say Ernie Garibay?
Ernie Garibay, yes, sir.
Oh yes, rest in peace, Ernie.
Yes,
We backed him up one time, dog.
Yes. Those guys out there, I used to jam with all that music out there when I was in San Antonio. So I'm feeling the music when he was presenting it to me this before you came on to the interview, and I'm like, wow, that's my music, homie. That's what I grew up with. That's what I've been listening to.
We got to kick it with Joe Jama. We got to kick it with the
Joe, yeah.
Five Satins.
Joe and Guerra and all them. I know all those folks.
Man, bro, we had a great time with those homies, man. And I got all the love in the world to our gente out there in San Antonio, big dog. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
They got some badass singers. And like I said, rest in peace, Ernie Garibay and his brother. In fact, we do Barbacoa Blues, but we got to change it up.
There you go. That's my jam right there,
Blues, you know?
In fact, I wanted to put it on the show here today, but all didn't happen.
Hey, we might get it live right now by the homie.
There you go. Yeah, Barbacoa Blues is the national anthem, or the San Antonio national anthem.
Which one?
Yeah, the Barbacoa Blues.
Oh yeah, man. We had to learn that one, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Talking about that.
We have a good time. We had a good time with Ernie, man, and he's a great artist, you know. And we at least got a chance to jam with him, you know. And he was, you know, he was following in his brother's footsteps too, you know.
Right on.
But the one we had the most fun with, I think, was Joe Jama, man. That was crazy, dog. You know, and he did, you know, Mi Barrio, the ghetto. Oh man, he got down.
That's a badass sound. In fact, our new opening song, guys, he kind of opened it up. Our new opening song is gonna be something about El Barrio, for Barrio Boyz.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
You got us going.
Hey, I was gonna ask you, boss, if you could, can you give us an interesting story about your time on the road? I mean, you know, you've been performing for a long time. You got any crazy stories about some hyenas or some fool out there trying to throw putazos, or you know, like some crazy shit, or what?
Well, fools knew that if I got into putazos, I would knock somebody out. I was benching 425. I'm not a tall dude. I'm only 5'6", but I was benching 425. I was squatting 500, deadlifting 500. I was a little powerhouse, man. So, yeah. And then, you know, you got to watch out because fools got guns, you know. But no, one time with my homeboy, Ernie Medina, who Tony G had set me up with him to do some tracks with him. You know, he did a lot of the tracks for the Eazy-E stuff, Ernie Medina.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, Rick, man," he goes, because he had a little group. They were called Days. And they were like a little freestyle group, which I didn't really fuck with freestyle, you know, but that was his group. And they had a tour in Brazil around Rio de Janeiro and surrounding cities. And he calls me up because, "Rich, man, my singer punked out on us, man. He's not gonna be able to make this tour. We got this tour all set up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil." And I'm like, and I'm 26 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm single. So I went to work. I was working as a trainer at LA Fitness. And I was like, "Hey, boss, I got this chance, man, and I'm just gonna take it. So if I come back and you ain't around no more, it is what it is." But dog, he goes, "Go do your thing, man. Come back, you still got a job." I said, "All right." Went down there. Julio G drove us to the airport, and we had to make the mistake before we went on the, in the airport, of smoking a little roach of chronic, which Julio never smoked that much, but me and Ernie did. So we smoked that little roach. Next thing you know, we were like fucking Keystone Cops, bro. You were so high. And then you got to do all that shit in the airport and shit, right? And Julio G's like, "Man, I'm never smoking that shit again, dog." So we finally got it all together, got on the plane. Me and Ernie were going down to Brazil. And we sit down, I look at Ernie, I said, "Fuck, homie." And he goes, "Fuck, man, we had like a 15-hour flight ahead of us, you know, maybe a little more." And I go, "Hey, homie, who's going to pick us up down in here in fucking Brazil?" He's like,
The fuck?
"Oh." We're still high, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. So for the first 11-hour flight, we're worried, you know, it was a buzzkill, dog, you know what I mean? And we didn't know till we took the second flight, and I'm looking down over the jungle, I think, and just watching a bunch of lightning just explode down there, you know? Well, damn, I'd hate to fall in all that, you know? So we make it over there, and we're still wondering who the hell, you know? Who the hell's gonna come get us? We're in third world country, people disappear. So we go down there, jump off, going to where you get your luggage and shit, and this fool had the guy's band name, Ernie's band name right there. Boom. Oh, all right. So they go, "Come on, we got a limo for you." I said, "Oh, beautiful." So we went out there, man, and their limos was like a big white van. But to them, you know, hey, we're cool. Hey, we got a limo, you know. Hooked us up in great hotels, bunch of beautiful. Like, you ever see the video "Beautiful" with Snoop Dogg?
By Snoop Dogg and Pharrell?
Yeah. It was kind of like that, but not as many broads like that. But I met some beautiful women. I met Miss Sao Paulo. She was hanging out with us. I met a beautiful woman on Ipanema Beach. You know what I mean? And we did some show. At first, though, the first show we did, we went out there, man, and we started kicking ass because they were popular around there, you know, in that area. They had some little hits around there, right? His band. So we got down and boom, crickets. Start the next one. Boom, 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 boom. Got down, start getting down again. Finish that one, crickets. Next thing you know, the guys in charge, the guys taking us around, the record company that was taking care of us, they were like, "Let's get out of here." So we had to run out the back. People are looking at us all crazy. It's just weird, bro. So I look at the homie. I said, "I thought you guys had hits down here. This is gonna suck. We got 10 shows down here, dog." And he's like, "I don't know, dog. They said our shit was popping down here." So fuck, we had like 3 days to let that soak in. And then the next show was going to be in about 3 days. Come back around, I meet that girl, and we come back around, and we go to the next show, and we're like, fuck it, it is what it is. We're getting paid. We're out here in fucking Brazil. We'll go visit the beaches. You know what I'm saying? So went back out there, and we started getting down, and it was like we were Michael Jackson all of a sudden. People were like, trying to rush the stage. And crowds were trying to come backstage with us. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, guess you know who else went with us?
Who?
He's a badass hip hop producer. His name is Fred Rex.
That's it.
Fred Rex came with us. You know, he works with Dre. He works with all the top rappers. He came with us just for the fun. He was like, hey, dog, you're a background dancer. All right, let's go. They're paid.
Shit, I would be a background dancer too. You told me to go, but let's go, homie.
Hey, we had a great time, man. We had a great time. That was one of the greatest times of my life, other than seeing my kids born, you know. That stuff would have, you know, if Eazy wouldn't have passed away, or if we were able to put that stuff out back in the days, I might not have ever met my children, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if people believe in different things, but I wouldn't trade that. I wouldn't trade, even if I went through such a hard time, I wouldn't trade that for nothing, dog. For all the fame in the world, you know?
Yeah, man. Everything happens for a reason, and it's crazy how life works.
I think so.
The good thing is that we're still breathing today, man. Still being able to live to tell our story, man. And I'm happy that you got on here to tell us some stories. Shit.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys listening to my bullshit, man.
No, that ain't bullshit, fuck. I want to hear more.
I know it's real. I gotta lie to you, dog.
No, and you know, the thing is, like what I was trying to say earlier is, you know, with Barrio Boyz TV, you know, Chicano music, Chicano rap, you know, it's such a close-knit community of artists and fans. And it's, you know, even though it doesn't have the recognition that it deserves in most places, it's still a beautiful thing to see when you see artists like yourselves who have had fans for 20 plus years, you know, off of being Chicano and just being who you are and being, you know, Rasta and what you represent, dude. And I just want to take my hat off to that. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, bro. I mean, I was raised that way, dog. I mean, my parents were activists, you know what I mean? And we were Chicano pride down family, you know what I'm saying? So, and we were marching, man, on them streets, dog, against police brutality, against inequality. And I was a little kid with them, you know what I'm saying? So I was raised that way, dog. I was raised to be proud of what I was.
What do you got coming out here soon? Any new projects, any artists you're working with?
Right now, pretty much, I've, you know, I did a little thing. I mean, me and Cujo the Savage, you know what I mean? We're talking about doing some stuff, you know what I mean? My boy Homicide, me and him are doing some stuff. You know, he's got a movie out called Higher Power, and I'm acting in it. So you know, acting, yeah, just acting like I acted. Hey, what? But you know, I got my own. I'm working on a 7-song EP right now. I'm gonna start off with some slow jams, you know, and show, you know, because that's, you know, like I said, gangster shit, funk, G-funk, that's not all I do. I like doing love jams and shit. I got some badass love jams. One I wrote with Howard Scott for War. The other one with Tony G, of course, you know what I mean? And just work with different people trying to get shit popping off. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm gonna still be doing my hoodie music, dog, my barrio music, dog. You know, it may not be gangster shit, you know, but it's gonna be something we could all that we've all shared together, you know.
Well, definitely we need to get an email so he can email us his music, and we'll be streaming your music. How's that? We'll be streaming your material.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate everybody out there where you guys are at, all the homies and homegirls that have been, you know, loving this music, man. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, man.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, we appreciate your time. If I may, if you would honor us with a little sample of your vocal ability to give us a good send-off.
A little sample and example, huh? Well, I'll finish what I was singing earlier, okay?
Okay.
Somebody say yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah. We got Raza out there, right?
Yes, sir.
We got Raza.
Hell yeah.
Raza say, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, hell
It's
yeah.
a Chicano groove, Latin thing. Make you move, make you sing. La vida. Well. So just keep it cool, don't you know? You can't hold back, Chicano soul. La vida. Now throw your fist in the air.
Hey, hell yeah, homie.
That's right.
No, hell yeah,
You guys stay up, keep doing what you're doing, man. You got all my love and blessings over here, doggy.
Hey, homie, is there anywhere they can find you? If they want to look for you on Instagram, on Facebook, anywhere, any shout outs you want to give real quick before you head out?
Yeah, man. Of course, shout out to my parents, my mom and my dad, but shout out to the home, Tony G, my boys from the Midnight Cruisers, you know what I'm saying? My people from Easttown Records, man, Dresser Boys, Evelyn G, you know what I mean? And Mama Tokes, Little Tokes, you know what I mean? Clevs and all the camp from there too, man. And Lady Bands, all of them, man. I got love for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? And you guys keep doing what you're doing, homies. It looks pretty good, man.
We appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Hey, yeah, homie. Well, it's your boy Yogi Low, South Black, man, right here with the Barrio Boyz, Chuco, the homeboy James the Chicano, sir, the legendary Rich G, homeboy, man. You heard it here first.
That's right.
Barrio Boyz TV, man. Make sure you guys keep following the homeboy. Follow the Midnight Cruisers. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, all that shit. Just don't put that shit in the pulga. Take a shot for your homie, because get the rescue right here, perro. Yeah. Saludos, homie. We're out, big dog.